Hey angels, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about office basics that you need to have in your closet to make a work wardrobe function. If you like this video at any time while you're watching it, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and hit the little red subscribe button before you leave. And don't forget to also come hang out with me on Instagram, as that's where I tend to be very active and would love to have you join me there as well. Now, helping women with their work wardrobe is something that I do quite often, whether some women feel bored with their wardrobes or others are just looking to find out what you should be wearing to work anyway. So I am going to be covering all of the business casual basics that I recommend that you should have in your closet in order to give you some variety and make sure that you have the wardrobe staples you need in order to create lots of different looks so you feel chic and effortlessly put together while at work. If you're someone that works from home and don't necessarily require to obviously dress up, because not every work environment is the same, then you can also use these tips to incorporate into your casual wear. So if you're looking to zhuzh up and dress up your casual pieces to make them look a little bit more elevated or rich or just elegant in general, incorporate into your casual pieces and make yourself feel a little bit dressier during the day. Please keep in mind as I go through these that obviously everybody's work environment is a little bit different. I don't know what your office in particular is like, but these are just some general business casual pieces that I think will translate well into most office environments, but obviously make sure that it works well for your environment and it feels like it's a good authentic fit for you. Now, the first piece that I recommend for all of you is a fantastic duster jacket. Now, the reason I recommend these is it's a great switch up from your traditional blazer, because I know sometimes people often feel like they're stuck wearing blazers all the time or a cardigan all the time and that there's nothing outside of that, especially in the cooler months or even as we transition to warmer weather. Sometimes people feel like they're always wearing the same layering pieces all the time, and I love duster jackets for that reason. They can easily break up what feels a little bit mundane, especially because they typically have a really nice lapel on it like this one does, and they come in a great variety of colors. Because they have this really beautiful lapel, it borrows from that business sort of structured feel, but what's great is the color's a little bit offbeat. It's still muted, which is nice for the office time or for office wear, sorry, and the length of them is beautiful. They typically come down to around your ankle, sometimes a little bit higher or lower than that. So it's a nice, comfortable piece that's effortless to throw on. It looks really sleek when you're wearing it and can look really beautiful when just topped over something as simplistic as a basic shirt or a tank or blouse, or when you're wearing a skinny pant. They just look effortlessly beautiful and put together. On that layering note, the next piece I recommend is a beautiful cardigan. Now, this one is a little bit longer and there is a reason behind that. First of all, just to talk about this cardigan for just a second, cardigans are great, number one, because most women tell me, and I have totally been there before, when you go into an office, you're sitting at a desk and you just feel absolutely frozen. And sometimes it can just be because you've been sitting too long, the blood's not circulating obviously as well, or sometimes it can just be the office environments just get so dang cold all the time, especially in the summer when they start cranking the AC. Like, what? Does no one else have lack of feeling in their toes? Like, seriously. Anyway, so the reason I love this cardigan, number one, is it's a very light fabric. So you can kind of see even through on the camera here, that's a little bit sheer on the back end. So it's not a really thick cardigan, which won't add bulk to your outfit. So it can still look very sleek and polished, because you don't want to wear oversized knits typically to the office, as they won't have that same kind of polish to your look. So something that's a little bit more thin will look a little bit more refined when you're wearing it, and will slip over some of your basic pieces really easily. The other thing is that if you're looking to just layer a little bit, it will offer you some warmth. If you're in like a sub-zero temperature office, obviously it's not going to do much for you, but it will provide a little extra heating. And I like that this one's in a gray, because I'm sure most of you can attest to the fact that we often opt for a lot of black in the office because it's easy to pair with everything and it's classic, it's slimming, blah, 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 all that stuff. So sometimes having a different kind of neutral, like a gray, for example, or you could get a blush or a camel color, whatever floats your boat, to break up some of all the black that we're constantly looking at. So I love that this is a gray. And the reason I'm recommending one that's a little bit longer, because this comes down to not quite knee length, but pretty close, is that because it will translate not only well with your separate pieces such as skirts and pants beautiful if you decide to wear a dress during the day, because it will match and complement the length of the dress. So you'll get a lot of versatility from one single easy piece, and typically cardigans are really easy to wash and wear, and they're also great because you can, you know, scrunch them up in an oversized bag if you need to tote it around with you, or just leave it draped on the back of your office chair. So these are a great office essential. Now the next piece I recommend is a classic button-up blouse. Now, I had talked about this in my wardrobe basics on just basics you should have in your closet, which if you haven't seen, I will link that video down below. But a white classic blouse, aside from transitioning well in your casual wardrobe, also looks really sharp in a office wardrobe as well. Now, sometimes this can be a pain in the butt for the ladies that have the larger ladies, if you know what I'm saying. So if you are someone that struggles with that problem, my suggestion is to either size up depending on the fit of the shirt, because obviously you don't want it to be baggy everywhere, which you could obviously alter if you want. Or something that I often do is to forego having to button it up all the way, and I'll grab a really bright camisole and I will wear that underneath the shirt, and I will only button up the shirt to just under my bust. So it creates a nice elongating line anyway that goes just past the bust and allows me to incorporate a little bit of color or print into my look when I'm wearing that classic white blouse. And then I don't have to worry about whether it's fitting across my bust or not. As long as it fits everywhere else nicely in my silhouette, I'm good to go. But what I love about these is that they're great for tucking into any kind of pant or skirt. You can pair them underneath dresses as well, which is what I love so much for them at work, because a lot of times people feel like dresses can be so challenging to make it feel fresh again at work because you're always wearing a blazer or a cardigan with it. But sometimes if you take a white collar blouse and you put it underneath your dress and use the sleeves as your warmth and use that little preppy collar underneath and put like a cute little necklace or something, then that can easily translate that outfit and make it look a little bit more modern and chic. And it's a different way to utilize your dresses outside of always needing a bolero or cardigan or like blazer or something to go over top. Now the next piece I recommend in everyone's closet are blouses, or like a drapey blouse. So for example, this is just a basic like 100% polyester material, but it's really got that really beautiful drape. It's got a lot of movement to the fabric and it borrows from that beautiful blouse aspect. So as a result, the shirt by itself already looks a little bit more dressy. So arming your closet with pieces like this is a great essential and addition to your closet because you get a lot of wear out of it. They not only look great with denim and casual pieces that you will already have for your personal time, but they will also help take your work basics and step them up a notch when you're at work, so you look a little bit more professional and just look very chic while you're going about your day. Now what I love about it also because of the drape is that they'll tuck into pants easily or a skirt easily. You can just tuck them in the front if you want and leave them out. But I love getting them in a dose of both prints and solids just to, again, break up the look of things. Black pant. Now you can get these pants in a boot cut and a skinny. I think both are wonderful essentials. And you can't really go wrong with either of them. I always tell women, again, just to change up the look of things so you don't feel like you're wearing the same thing, is to change up the variety of the cut of your pant. Now, the great thing about the skinny pant, just to go back for a second, it doesn't have to be in black. You could get it in grays, tans, blushes, prints, you know, whatever, depending on your work environment. But they are really great because you can tuck them into boots, wear them with flats, wear them with heels. There's a lot of different ways you can interchange a skinny pant, which is why it's become so popular. You don't really have to fuss with the footwear all that much. However, on that pant note, like I said, it is good to change things up. And one of my favorite looks that I think looks super elegant is a beautiful classic wide leg pant. Now, the wide legs have been in style for quite some time now, so some retailers are carrying them a little bit more frequently than what they tend to do. But what I always say to look for is a pant in a wide leg that has a really beautiful soft drape, again, just because it will fall both over curves and angular figures very well. It tends to look really refined when you wear it. And if you're someone that tends to have a broader hip line, it tends to fall over the curves of your hips just beautifully. And if you get the wide leg pant, the only thing to keep in mind, just so you're not doing like an Urkel with your pants, is to make sure the actual hemline only sits about a half an inch above the ground to really make sure you've got that elongated leg and to make sure everything looks very column-esque when you're wearing it. Then the other pant to help diversify things is a great boot cut pant. So, or even a flare, doesn't really matter. So like my perfect jean video to help you guys find your perfect denim, which again, if you haven't seen, I will link that down below for you guys. But your ideal flare in a pant should be in correlation with the top of your thigh. So if you're someone that has really curvaceous hips and you want to help balance that out and give the most slimming and elongating look for the leg, try and find a flare on the bottom of your dress pants that's the same width as the top of your thigh for the most elongating and beautiful look. But if you can't find that, a traditional boot cut just looks about sensational on everybody. And I picked this one up that I have in a gorgeous, gorgeous navy. Again, just to break up some of the neutrals. Navy to me is a neutral. It goes with just about everything. And I love it. I'm not someone that wants to be in a sea of black all the time. And I think that's why a lot of women can tend to get bored with their closet. Not that I don't love black, but sometimes if you have the same tones and shade in your closet when you're opening it up, you feel a little bit like Superman because you're kind of looking at the same thing over and over again. It can get a little bit boring for the eye. So switching it up with other neutrals such as navy, olive tones, charcoals, blushes, whatever, can make your work wardrobe look just spectacular. Now, the next one, I'm sure you guys knew I was going to talk about at some point. I feel like everybody talks about this for reasons, and that is the classic black blazer. Now, a blazer can come in varying lengths, so choose one that feels like it's a good fit for you. I'm quite tall, so I prefer jackets that match the scale of my height, so I opt for jackets that tend to be a little bit longer. If you are someone that is more on the petite end of things, try and opt for things that are a little bit shorter to also match the scale of your shape. And then other than that, the only thing that really tends to change with blazers are the lapel size and also the number of buttons on a jacket. So if you are someone that has a larger bust, for example, you want to keep your lapels relatively smaller because a large lapel on a jacket can actually emphasize the size of your bust and make everything look much larger than what it actually is. So if that's an area you're trying to minimize, be wary of that. And also if you are someone that is super curvy and you're wanting to keep everything as streamlined as possible, then opt for things that have a single button or are just, you know, one or two buttons on your jacket as opposed to double-breasted or 3 buttons on a jacket, because that can help widen or give the appearance of widening on a jacket, so just be wary of that. If you are someone that is very angular, then you can deal with a lot of proportions and play with big lapels and double-breasted and all sorts of stuff on your jacket, so go as ham as you want. But a classic black blazer is something that, again, I said you can translate into both your casual attire and works really well for your business, and is a great wardrobe essential just to have overall. There's nothing you can't put a black blazer with. Another wardrobe essential for the office is a basic black pencil skirt. Now, these are great. A nice fitted structured pencil skirt always looks really beautiful. They have very simplistic lines, so it keeps everything looking very sleek, and they look great tucked in with like blouses, or you can pair it with cardigans in a blouse, like, you know, whatever. It's a great, like, just wardrobe essential that will go with everything. And the nice thing is, which people often forget, is you can often dress a pencil skirt down to make it look more casual. You know, especially if you put it with, you know, a big oversized scarf and a basic tee and some sneakers, right? And a cardigan. Like, these are ways that you can dress this piece down and get some more use out of it if you're not a huge skirt person. But of course, make sure it's an authentic fit for you. If the idea of a skirt just drives you nuts, then just stick with pants. Now, I know we haven't talked about dresses yet, and I did talk about dresses in my wardrobe essentials video, and I'm going to talk about the exact same dress that I did here, and that is a basic t-shirt dress. Now, keep in mind that I'm obviously talking about the business casual environment, maybe to even smart casual, only because a t-shirt dress obviously has much more of a relaxed fabric. So in order to make this work in a business casual environment, you really may have to make sure you pair it with blazers, or if you're going to put it with the cardigan, for example, then make sure you wear heels with it and some nice jewelry just to dress up that look. But if not, you can go for a traditional structured little black dress or any dress in any kind of color, right? And you can dress those pieces up or down. So it doesn't have to be neutral or gray. I'm a big believer in versatility for the closet, and there's always ways that you can dress up casual pieces to make them look very, very chic and office appropriate. So I love them for things like this. And bonus is that if you're going somewhere afterwards, you want to be comfy, just bring some sneakers, an oversized scarf, and wear your cardigan, and boom, comfortable. Your basic dark denim. Now, again, dark denim will vary depending on where you work. Not everybody has a casual Friday, and some work environments don't necessarily allow denim, so obviously be cautious of this. But if you do happen to have a casual Friday, or if your employment area offers smart casual as a form of dress, then dark denim is a great piece to have. Now, the thing you want to be careful of is you want to make sure that any dark denim you pick out is as dark as possible to make it look dressy and look like it borrows from business. But you also want to make sure that your denim has no distressing, so no rips. You don't want like any distressing across the thigh, or at least very minimal, just because any distressing and things that are outside of the norm is going to make the pant look more casual, thus making you look less formal and appropriate for work. Now let's talk about a love affair of mine, which is shoes. For footwear, there's so much great variety out there. It really comes down to what personally feels comfortable to you at work, whether you're standing all day, sitting all day, whether you have to be moving, whether you're like whatever, I don't know. Everyone's work environment's a little bit different. But one thing I recommend to everyone to have is some kind of flat shoe. Now, obviously for work, you want to borrow or make the footwear, even if it's flat, as dressy as possible. So if you can get a patent leather or a pleather that borrows from that more polished looking leather, then that is a great option. These ones in particular are from Zara. It's even got a little bit more of a pointy toe, which I know people have an opinion on, which is fine, but the reality is they do happen to look a little bit dressier. However, what I love about these, and this again will come down to your office environment, is that these have this like great fun bow that's on the front of it, which gives it the little bit of a creative twist, so that if you're in a relatively conservative environment or people don't go too crazy with their attire, you can incorporate a little bit of your personality subtly in with a fun shoe if you want. This may not even be your style, I don't know, but you can definitely incorporate elements of your personality in it. Perhaps you get like a leopard flat, let's say, for example, that has a fun print, because I think leopard's a neutral, or whatever. There are so many fantastic options out there. The only thing I don't think substitutes or works well, in an office environment is a slide. Another thing that is great to have in your arsenal for your work wardrobe is a great pair of basic black pumps, or even nude pumps. And I won't have the nude ones here to show just because they're in the other room and I forgot. But these black ones are great. They'll obviously go with anything in your wardrobe, and nude pumps are also the same way. They will also be a nice warm neutral to incorporate to all of your pieces. They're classic, so those shades rotate very easily and transition well with everything in your closet. Now these ones are about a 4-inch. That is personally what I feel more comfortable in. They also have more of a pointed toe, which again, to me, I feel gives a little bit more of a polish. But what's nice about these is they actually have a textured touch to the leather, so it's got a little bit of funkiness to the shoe, and it's a little bit more understated, which makes the heel look less like in your face, if you will. So they don't look too over the top, but I love them. And obviously go for a heel height that feels more comfortable to you. The higher the heel, the less comfortable it will be long term. So if you prefer kitten heel, especially if you're moving around, that would be great. Or I always recommend to get a chunky heel if you want a little bit more sturdiness underneath the foot. They will offer a little bit more support and will feel a little bit more comfortable as you go about your day. Are you guys still with me? We're almost at the end. We're almost at the end. Now, the last piece of the puzzle are accessories. Now, accessories are what's going to change up a lot of the basics and make you feel like you've, had some fun with your look during the day, and they're really your signature touch to any look. One long necklace. Now, it doesn't have to have a huge pendant on the bottom such as this one. It can though as well, whatever you'd rather, or you can just get a basic plain long necklace. But what I recommend about these is to have a long necklace that falls just past your bust, so it keeps the focal point more on your waistline and creates a really nice elongating line. And I find this looks great if you're wearing your blazers open, or if you're wearing a really long cardigan. It helps follow that silhouette of the long silhouette, that you're creating, and I think really gives a nice finishing touch. And the other option is that if you want to have some fun with your clothing, if you want to incorporate a little bit more personality, you can always give your outfits a little bit of a punch by incorporating a statement necklace. This one unfortunately is from a boutique that no longer exists, but there are tons of accessory options out there that have a lot of bling and like crystals incorporated into it. I think Bauble Bar is one. Olive and Piper is also great. Those are both online stores that you guys can check out. But of course, Ann Taylor is wonderful. White House Black Market is wonderful. Banana Republic is wonderful. So you will have your pick of a lot of really cool accessory areas to find a blingy necklace if you feel that that's a good fit for you. And I think they're just fun additions. You can use this both with your casual pieces at home, but you can also use it with, you know, your collared blouses and basic work wardrobe pieces, and it just helps take the outfit just up a notch. What I recommend for work is to have a great structured bag. Structured bags always look a little bit more polished. The lines are very sleek and simplistic. They sort of mimic and mirror that briefcase kind of feel, which is what makes them look a little bit more professional and polished. Anyway, guys, that's it for my video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked this video while you're watching it, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and hit the little red subscribe button down below. And don't forget to come hang out with me on Facebook, where I've got my private Facebook group, the Style Squad, where we've got thousands of women now sharing their daily outfits. They're sharing shopping finds, funny quotes, and lots of inspiration, and we're just really being a very supportive, positive group over there. There are only positive vibes. It is really inspiring, and a lot of friendships are being made over there. So please come hang out with me and others there as well. I would love to see you, and we'll leave the link for that down below. And if any of you want any style advice in future from moi, the stylist, then I also offer online style services, and we'll leave the link for my website for that if any of you are interested down below. And other than that, guys, I love you to the moon and back, and I'll see you again very soon. Mwah. See ya.